Hello, everyone. Welcome to day one of the 5 day going live challenge. Let me get my words out. Super excited to share some strategies with you on tonight so that we can massively increase your online visibility. We're focusing on audio and video content. So I hope that you guys are ready for it. This is year two. Last year we did the going live challenge after hearing so many of the coaches um, kind of hide out and be afraid of going live because they didn't feel prepared or they didn't feel like they had the right content, and just so many reasons that the enemy tries to come in and try to distract us from showing up and bringing forth the message that God has given us to bring forth. So the going live challenge was birthed in 2021. So we are in year two, which is pretty cool for me because we get to focus on niche specific content. So I am your vision coach, Latoya Early, and we are going to rock out over the next hour. And we're going to get focused on creating content. I'm laughing. Hopefully, everyone on replay can see Coach Sandra and I and our side jokes because she laughing at me because she know. Listen, I love training, I love teaching, I love coaching. So I mean, I can't help it. But we gonna work. We're gonna work
Ladies.
towards that 1 hour mark. Hello, April. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Siobhan. Welcome, welcome. Thank you,
Hey,
ladies, so
hey.
much for joining. Okay, we're gonna go into prayer and then we're gonna get started. Okay. So, Father God, in the name of your Son Jesus, we come to you with thanksgiving on today, Father. Just giving you glory on today, God. Giving you praise on today, God. Father God, I thank you for the ladies that are on this call, Father. The ladies that are going to catch this by way of replay, Father. I thank you for them, Father. I thank you for this opportunity to get the message that you have for us clear, Father, that we may show up as the expert in the problem that you have called us to solve for your people, Father. Now, Lord, I ask that you would decrease me, that you may increase, Father, that they may hear from you and only you during this call on tonight. I bind up any distractions. I bind up discouragement. I bind up defeat right now in the name of Jesus. For your word says, whatever we bind on earth, that you'll bind in heaven. Whatever we loose on earth, that you'll loose in heaven. So, Father God, I lose confidence in these ladies. I lose clarity, Father. I lose next level instructions, Father, so that they may move forward and reach the goal that you have set before them. Father God, I just thank you for this time. I thank you for these coaches in Jesus' name. Amen.
Lord. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Okay, so we're in day one, right? So far, if you've had the opportunity to check out the trainings that we did earlier today, and check out some of the assignments, we talked about going live, right? Or you had to do the first assignment, which was to go live inside of the community. This was to give you the opportunity to hear yourself, right? So I kind of wanted you to get loose and kind of get rid of some of those jitters and really position yourself as the expert. Some of you go live audio all the time. Some of you I've never seen go live. So we're in a great space of mixture, where we're going to spend the next 5 days really creating audio and video content so that you can show up as the expert in front of your specific ideal client and enroll that next four-figure client. Hey, Coach Quay, welcome, welcome,
Hey.
welcome. Okay, so again, you had to go live and share your niche statement, or what I've been calling it for years, your power statement. And so just kind of want to go over that really quickly because some of you ladies well, all of you ladies did a fantastic job. What we want to do when we're working on that power statement is making sure that we're highlighting the top four areas, right? Of course, you want to be clear on what type of coach you are. Now, we talk about all the time that whole adjective describing yourself as a coach. Understand that that is important, y'all. I know that in some spaces, in some areas, you may hear that titling is not important, but it has a lot to do with your marketing, right? Have you ever seen a coach say what type of coach he was, and you like, what? Or you ignored it, or you're like, I don't even know what that is, right? And you may just think it's something that you just let roll off your tongue. You didn't think nothing of it, but it can either attract or repel that client that's waiting for you, right? So that adjective, that one word that describes the problem you solve for your specific ideal client. Then we jumped into the niche statement where we identify who our specific ideal client is. You want to make sure you're super specific on who you're talking to. And then what are you going to help them do? Right? What are you going to help them do? What results are you going to help them bring? Now, keep in mind, this is going to evolve. My power statement has evolved so many times over the year. Why? Because over the years, because I've grown as a coach, my specific ideal client has changed and grown. My mindset has changed and grown. So I want you to be okay with that evolving growth, but I still want you to show up and be consistent. Okay. When as your messaging advances, because it shouldn't change, it should advance, it should mature. It's only because you're advancing and you're maturing in your growth and in your business, right? So we went over that. We talked about, your messaging, your titling, and all of that good stuff. And so here's what we're going to talk about tonight to prepare you for tomorrow. Here's what we're going to talk about tonight to prepare you for tomorrow as we go through the different platforms. So on a post, I asked you ladies, what are your top two platforms? Are you using Facebook? Are you using Clubhouse? Are you using Instagram? What are your top two platforms? Here's why I want us to identify those platforms. If you're going to use Clubhouse, I want you to schedule a room. Okay. That is a part of the challenge this week, is to schedule a room. If you've never scheduled a room on, has there anyone here who has never hosted their own room? Okay, so Sandra, Shonda, what, Pat? Okay, so this is good. This is good. Now I guess I'll go ahead and give this out now. Um, if there's someone in the challenge that you can partner with to do a room, by all means, right? Because all it does is going to increase the engagement in the room, and that is perfectly okay. Collaborations are good, but you want to make sure that the titling of the room is congruent to both of you guys' niche, right? So it has to be something that both of you talk about, of course, in different ways, or something that you can add value to on either side, right? So for instance, if Coach Pat decided to do a room, I would be a good person, right? Although we have two different messaging, she's still business, I'm still business, right? Um, yep, absolutely. Siobhan, absolutely. So I want you to pick a day and decide which day are you going to host a clubhouse room. I would suggest that you pick Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, because tomorrow we're going to do reels. Now, if you want to work and do two at the same time, then let's do it. But we're going to focus on reels so that I can help you create quick content that gets straight to the point. Okay. And so that's really one of the most difficult things to do when you're trying to be everything to everyone. This is why we're creating niche specific content so that you will get yourself in the habit of showing up and only talking about one thing at a time. That's one of the reasons why I struggle with reels, is because I'm like, I have so much to say. And it's like, no, focus on one specific thing and magnify that in 60 seconds or less. Okay. And I'll talk more about the assignment for tomorrow as we move forward into what we're discussing tonight. So we've talked about your titling, we talked about the niche statement. We're focusing on niche specific content. So here's what we're doing for our assignment on tomorrow. You're going to identify, and we can talk through this tonight. You're going to identify 3 behaviors your specific ideal client is currently experiencing. Okay. These 3 behaviors are the product of the problem you're called to solve. So before you can even identify those behaviors, I need you to get crystal clear on the problem you solve. What problem do you solve for your specific ideal client? What problem do you solve for your specific ideal client? Okay. Once you've identified what problem you solve, now we're going to identify 3 behaviors that are the result to that problem. So I'm going to use Coach Pat, for example. Coach Pat, and I put this under your live too, Coach Pat. You told me who you are, you told me who you're working with, and you told me the results, but you didn't tell me what these results are going to help me do. So you're going to help me produce a product so that I can create additional streams of income. Well, working with you, what am I eliminating? What is that taking away? What is that going to help me do? Yes, I do want to create additional streams of income, but why can't I do that on my own? Right? What's going to make me working with you any different than me going on Google to figure out how to produce my own book, how to produce my own? Does that make sense? Right? And so when we talk about that, that's why we want to identify behaviors, because as we're setting up our messaging, when we're able to show our client what I'm going to help you eliminate and what I'm going to help you bring, I can show you the behaviors that this problem is causing. So if I'm going to help you eliminate wasting countless time trying to figure out how to produce a high quality product, then the behavior that you have is spending countless hours on Google trying to find distribution companies or, printing companies or whatever their problem may be. So that's going to be one behavior that I'm going to highlight in my content. And I'm only going to focus on that. Does that make sense for everyone? So let's go ahead and take a pause right there. I want to go through the room and I want each one of you, of course, to introduce yourself and then let me know what problem you solve for your specific ideal client. Okay. And when we talk about the problem we solve, y'all should know most of y'all been around me a long time now. Don't give me this long paragraph. I want to know in one word the problem that you are called to solve. I know. Look at Angel face. And here's why I'm pushing you. Because when you can come up, the problem I solve for coaches is clarity. Then I can identify behaviors. I can pull out of that because it's clear to me of what struggle my client currently has. Okay, so let's start. I'll come back to you, Angel. You are the first one that I was getting ready to come to, but I'm gonna come back. So I'll start on the other end. I'm sorry, Coach Shonda, you're on the other end of my screen. So, so you can share that one word if you can. If you need a couple more words, we can work through it, and I'll help you break it down. But give me that one word.
So I'm an alignment coach, so I help them align in their mindset. How about that? Mindset.
Okay. Okay. But what's the problem?
Clutter. Mind clutter.
Okay. What caused the clutter?
A lack of focus.
Why aren't they focused?
Distraction, lack of focus,
From what?
unprepared.
From
I'm just
what?
getting all from what?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
What are they distracted from?
so I don't, okay. So I have a client who, so I'm helping her in 3 areas. So her focus, so that's mine, her spiritual, and her, procrastination.
Okay, so what causes your client to fall out of alignment?
A number of reasons, but I guess number 1 is,
Pause.
okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
What caused Coach Shonda to fall out of alignment?
To fall out alignment? 'Cause I was just
Mm-hmm.
misaligned. I didn't know that I needed to be in alignment. So I guess not being clear on.
Okay, so when you say you were out of alignment, you knew, what made you think that you were, like, what happened to make you say, I'm out of alignment?
I felt stuck.
Out of alignment of what?
I felt stuck in my business. So that's how I came to the conclusion of alignment.
You felt stuck in your business.
But I'm not talking nothing about business in alignment.
Why?
I don't know, because I had because God aligned me in my mind, my body, and my my emotions. And so I want to help other people align in their mind, their body, and their emotions.
But you got to tell me why I'm out of alignment, or how do I know I'm out of alignment? Like, what happens when you say you're an alignment coach? What is going to make me say I'm out of alignment? I need to work with Coach Shonda. I'll come back. Think
Okay.
about it. Think about it. Think about it. Coach Pat, Tag, you're it.
Time.
Time. Time producing.
Yes, time, just more time for them to do other things other than going through Google and searching
Okay.
how to do something. Other than doing it themselves, they hire me as the coach and we do it for them. So it saves them time.
Absolutely. Perfect. With saving them time, it'll create additional streams of income. Why do I want this though? Why do I want to produce a product as a coach, consultant, or what was the other one?
Service-based and
Why,
service-based entrepreneur.
why do I want to produce a product out of that?
One of the reasons is it's another tool for you to give to your clients that keeps you top of mind of your clients, because it's a
Okay.
tool that they're going to be using on a regular basis. It also helps to generate income because you can start out as a lower dollar item to get them to know, like, and trust you.
Mhm.
What else? And you become an author, so you become credible.
Okay. So you see how you just gave me those three things, right? So one of the things that you said that is a lower investment for people to know, like, and trust. So a behavior that could be happening is you're spending so much time trying to get people to know you that so that they can invest at a higher price point when creating a product can help create a relationship. So the products that I help you generate or create, it helps you create relationships with your clients. So we're talking about the behavior that is the result of you not of your client not not get enough clients at a high ticket price. So what is the behavior to that? The behavior to that is spending a lot of time trying to get them to invest at a higher price point. I need to figure out how to create something that creates a relationship, and this is what it does. This is what I do. I help you create relationships with your clients. Right?
We're getting this
So
video, right?
yes. Yes, you will. Right. So so I'm trying to I just want to help you see when we talk about those behaviors, I want you to identify what is happening to her right now. Right. So when we talk about find those three behaviors, I want you to identify what behavior does she have right now. Right now, she's trying to get her client to invest at a higher price point. She's trying to get her client to invest at a higher ticket. She's trying to create relationships, but she's having a hard time. So this product is going to help her build better relationships.
Mm.
Now I'm creating a reel or a live based on building better relationships. Does that have anything to do with, does that, or not saying it has everything to do with what her niche is and what she's doing, but she's able to use language that still speaks to the problem that she solves.
Mm.
Right?
That's good.
Oh,
That's good.
cool. Angel. Tag.
Yes, ma'am. I got it. I couldn't do one word though. Maybe you can help me.
Self-care coach, right?
Yes.
Got it.
So what I put together though was neglect self-care. So that's the problem that they have.
Why do they neglect self-care?
Ooh, why do they neglect self-care? Because they don't think that they deserve to take care of themselves. That's what I've been hearing, especially in a lot of self-care groups. And let's see, what's the other main one? Um,
Why did Angel not implement self-care?
Cause I didn't make time to.
Why didn't you make time to?
Cause I wasn't taught to make time for myself.
So you weren't doing it because you weren't taught. What did that result in?
Um, uh, being stressed a lot. What I have here is behaviors is overwhelmed with daily tasks. Saying, I think we call it excuses, but saying or limiting beliefs, saying I don't have time to do things for me, and not delegating are the
Okay.
behavior.
So with those three, we gotta get to the core of that, because there's reasons why. And self-care is not the reason. It's what's going to help you, but it's not the reason that you don't delegate, or it's not the reason that you're so overwhelmed. Self-care is going to help you not be overwhelmed. But say the part again about being overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed with daily tasks.
So the overwhelm is the result. So now the question is, what is your client filling their day up with, where they're not taking time to think about self? What's happening? I like what you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Kids, family, homework.
So they're putting everybody else first,
Right.
right? So now, that's the type of language, right? So I'm talking to the person who puts everybody before herself. Why is she doing this? Once you start to figure out why she's doing it, one of the reasons is because she was never taught as a woman that she even mattered in the equation. It was always, if she's a wife, you be a wife. If you're a mom, you be a mom. You do everything else for everybody, but you don't. And so these are the behaviors. So getting in and digging deeper into that is going to speak to the client, because just saying, self-care, you're overwhelmed with daily routines. We're women. That's my job. That's what I'm supposed to do. But when you start saying, no, you put other people before you bring up different things that they may do. Are you spending more time catering to your children, to your family, more than you do yourself? Do you give yourself any alone time? Kind of dive deeper into it. But I really think the problem is deeper than them not deserving it. It's a confidence thing. Because if you don't feel like you deserve time for yourself, there's a reason why you don't feel like you don't deserve time. And so go ahead.
Something that I've heard is that we feel that we don't do enough. So it's like we have to do, like, that has to be the prerequisite in order to take care of ourselves. Like, it's like, okay, I got this done. Now I can take care of me.
So you're teaching them that you don't need a checklist. A checklist don't have to be completed in order to implement self-care.
Yes. Yep.
And when we talk about niche specific content, I want to help you ladies really kind of take a moment and just think beyond, those top 3 things that you may continuously share in your content. Dig deeper, talk to her. You know where she is. You know what she's struggling with. Angel is talking to the mom. So even with the self-care, are you a mom, Angel?
Yes, I have 3 boys. Pray for me.
Listen, you and I both. Are you a wife?
Yes.
Okay, so perfect. So you're talking to Angel. You're talking to Latoya. You're talking to, right, the woman who has all of these responsibilities. She put all of her responsibilities before self. That's who I'm talking to in my content. Now you have to identify behavior. Sit down. You may not want to, but talk about how Angel has done it. How many times has Angel done this?
Yeah.
Where her boys and her husband, and then she's like, oh, well, I guess I'll just take the scraps. Because that's what we're taught to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So dig deep. Coach Marquay, what problem do we solve for the dating folks?
Problem we solve is wasting time,
Okay, so time.
yes, and regret.
Okay, you're welcome, Angel. Okay, time and regret. Okay, give me 3 behaviors.
Isolation.
Okay,
uh, um, Self-consciousness,
okay,
and it's a million of them. Depressed.
depression or is that what you're saying?
Well, I would say depressed. So I don't know, maybe as far as depression, but just at the, in times of being just pressed down.
Oh, got you. Okay. So you have to paint a picture of what that looks like though. Because when you talk about isolation, are you saying that I don't go out at all? I don't talk to anybody? Like,
Well, I'm trying to one word it. I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to put this in one word.
but okay, so it's okay for you to say time because I know that you work with women helping them to avoid narcissistic behaviors, right? Or identify narcissistic behaviors to prepare for marriage. So with working with you, you're going to help save them time. And what was the other thing you said you was going to help them do?
Regret.
Time.
So
Regret.
I changed the power statement to help women to avoid the regret of wasting time and the post-trauma of narcissistic relationships.
Give me the whole statement again.
I help unmarried women to avoid the regret of wasting time and the post-trauma of narcissistic relationships by defining their self-worth today with the purpose of a successful marriage.
Okay. Okay. And so are you talking to the woman who's already been in a narcissistic relationship, or are you talking to the woman who you're trying to help her avoid it?
And see, that was the thing right there. I'm talking more so to the woman that wants to avoid it before they even get into it.
But how would I know? How would I know that? Like, how would you're helping me avoid something that's not a sign? So how will I even know without already being in it? Like, are you gonna? Does that make sense? Where that disconnect more so helping the woman who's been in a narcissistic relationship heal and overcome versus the woman trying to help her avoid it. Who needs
I
the
get what
coaching?
you're saying. Yeah, I'm saying that so remember at the beginning, that's what I was saying. So I think it would be best to help women. I wish someone had got me prepared and made me aware before I even got into it. Yet once I was in it, I needed someone to talk to encourage me out of it. So my belief is that is my assignment for both. But if, of course, I would rather to focus more on, hey, let me get you prepared so that you are not even, while you're dating, you're aware and not even going into this direction to avoid the post-trauma that will come along with it. So it's kind of still niched, but not just niched to the woman that's in it, but the woman that wants to never even have to go through it. That makes sense.
It does, but the question is, does the woman how many layers do she have to get through to recognize that she needs you? That's what I'm saying. I don't see that piece as saying, I need to hire you, because if I'm dating, I can Google what a narcissistic characteristic is and try to avoid it. You know what I'm saying? It's more so you're speaking to a hurt. You're when people are hiring coaches, it's because I've gone through something that I'm trying to eliminate. I'm trying to overcome. I'm trying to. So I get the content to help the other women avoid it, but it sounds like because you were a woman who was victim of it, that you want to focus on women who are or were victims so that they believe that they can have healthy relationships after this. The preparation, me hiring you to prepare me to help me avoid something, especially when I don't think I'm ever going to experience that. You didn't think you were going to experience it. You didn't walk into it like, oh yeah, right? So you got to consider the
Yeah.
client. They're not going to say, let me hire Coach Quay to avoid this, because they don't think that they're going to run into it.
I guess it's because it's so thrown out right now, narcissism, you hear, and it's constantly, oh, I just dated a narcissist, I was with a narcissist. So it makes me feel that women aren't aware, because I wasn't aware until afterward, that dang, I was with a narcissist.
But
So,
you can educate awareness. You can
right. So
educate
that's where
awareness.
I think of what I'm missing in my power statement, is because I want to, that's where I changed it, instead of it being dating to being a dating mindset. So to help women to date aware, and to help them to have the awareness to whereas they won't, even when dating, they know the difference between just a toxic relationship to a narcissistic relationship, and they're aware of those things ahead of time. So that way they're not, their mindset is saying, I have a unique, that's where, where I put defining your unique self-worth. So for instance, if you're hiring a person for a position at a job, you already know what your qualifications are. You already know what you're worth. Going into this dating, dating atmosphere. And now I'm able, if you're able to already know what your qualifications are, you won't go into this
Okay,
direction.
okay. So then now you need to ask yourself, am I a dating coach to help women, we have a nice worded out statement, but date with purpose for marriage, taking out the narcissistic portion of it. So, and then in your programming, you help them identify behaviors of narcissistic relationships, abandonment, rejection. Like, you are able to identify these certain things to help them better prepare. But in your power statement, I don't see a client hiring you. I'm going to hire you. It's like, this is crazy. It's like insurance. I'm paying for insurance just in case. No, I'm not gonna get into an accident because I'm a very safe driver. I mean, it's the law, so we have to do it. But it's the same thing. It's like, oh, I'm gonna invest 4 figures in something that I've never experienced,
So
because
you
we're
think that I
focusing
should
on.
just, you think that, so my experience is because of the time that I wasted in that relationship with the narcissist.
Mhm.
And I do, most definitely, I've done tons of research on the narcissism thing. So it's like, I want to be able to make sure that I give that. So rather than, targeting to avoid, I guess I can later on include the how to later, some content on how to avoid it altogether. Yeah.
Right.
But that means I'm gonna have to play with my power statement some more.
So
That I don't want to do.
here are the options. I know you're tired, but here are the options. Either we leave the narcissistic into the statement and we talk to women who are ready to heal and move and build a purposeful relationship for dating, for marriage, or we take the narcissistic out and we're helping women build and prepare dating for marriage. And then narcissistic is one of the things in your programming that you help them identify, so that they, as they're creating their dating profile, they know not to fall for these type of behaviors. They know how to be aware.
So
Those
do
are
you
the two
think it's
areas.
more, so it's more of identity based, yeah, because my thing is like, I want, one of my main topics that I started as far as my content was going to be, hey, let's get your qualifications. Let's uniquely identify what you want in your husband. And I would think that people will want to do that in advance, but at the same time, I also have content on, okay, let's not just keep calling everybody every butthole that you dated a narcissist, because there's different things. There's sociopaths, there's toxic relationships. These are those different things. So I really want to make people aware of, we all have some narcissism in us, but knowing what those things are to avoid and to be warned about is something.
So that's what you're gonna have to figure that part out. Either I'm talking to the woman who has been in a narcissistic relationship and I want to help her heal and date with the purpose of a successful marriage, or I want to help women date with the purpose of marriage. And in my content and in my curriculum, I help them identify narcissistic behavior.
Yeah, so I don't want to, I'm not crossing women to date with it's too broad for me. I'm just have particulars and saying, let me get you down to knowing what a narcissist is and what and the things that might be connected to personality disorders, but not to, because that was where it was happening before. Like people was messaging me like, where should I go to meet this guy at? What restaurant is good? And it's like, I'm still trying to figure that part out, but I don't want to tell people how to date. I want to tell people how to have the mindset, the dating mindset, because I'm going into it with, I can decline every opportunity that comes my way until I get exactly what I know that God would have for me. That mindset.
So we're gonna have to stay there for a minute, because I don't think that you're clear on which side. I know that you want to help them with the mindset, but it's not clear to me what they're struggling with. Like what's their problem?
So my problem was that, well, I was with a narcissist. So several things. It was that I didn't have anybody to really let my true transparency out to.
But now you're going back to the person who needs to heal and go and prepare for a better relationship. That takes me back there. When you talk about your experiences and this is how I felt and this is what I was thinking about, that takes me right back to, I want to help the woman who was in a narcissistic relationship heal and find purpose in dating. That takes me back.
So basically everything that I'm saying, just instead of it being avoiding it, let's just deal with it, because so I get it then. So I'm just gonna pull away from avoiding and Tony and on, hey, this is exactly who I was.
Absolutely.
All right.
But there's, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
No. Go ahead, Coach Sam.
You there's no way, I don't think, that you can avoid in some of your content saying these are things you should be aware of. That's the avoidance piece. Is that education piece that Coach Latoya was talking about. I don't see how you get around that, even though that may not be your ideal client. But at some point, you've got to talk about that content, because when you're in it, I'm relating. When you're in it, you're also thinking, how could I have known? What were the signs? Right? Yeah. So you there's no way to avoid addressing that. How could I have known? But the real struggle is being in it and getting the heck out of it.
Okay, yeah.
That's the woman that's going to pay you. Because if she could figure it out on her own, she'd do it. But she can't. The woman that's going to pay you is that woman that's struggling. Okay, I see I'm in it now. How do I get the heck out?
Yep. And the behaviors that you're going to identify are the behaviors to recognize that you're in it or that you haven't healed
Right.
from it.
Right.
So either I'm talking to the woman who's in it, like you said, I felt stuck. I felt like I didn't have anybody to talk to. I felt like I was isolated, right? That's how you felt in it. And then the woman who got out of the relationship, but she's like, I don't even know how to date because I don't know if I'm going to run into this same problem again.
Mhm, mhm.
That's your language, Quay. Here's we record and we are okay. I'm just gonna say it. Here's the thing: you have to heal. You keep running from walking someone through this healing because you're gonna have to face the fact that what I went through with this person, I gotta heal and be free from that soul tie. When you break that soul tie, you'll be able to show up in a different light.
Mhm.
You have to heal from this. And you have to know that your next relationship will not be like it was because I'm watching, I'm avoiding it because I'm showing up and I'm showing things to avoid. I'm showing how to recognize it and I'm showing what not to allow myself to put up with.
So heal from what? Because so I feel that I'm definitely disconnected from the person that would allow that. So that I think that's where I keep going into the area of I wish that I would have, and I believe, and to be quite honest, I have had people to come to me in an effort to say I want to be mentored by you so that I can avoid,
Can you
or
talk to
because
this
I haven't.
person?
Hmm?
Can you talk to this person?
What do you mean?
Can you pick up something like, did you call me? What you need? Or because you said you're disconnected. So I want to know, have you just disconnected yourself from talking to that person? Or have you
Oh, no. Okay, so when I was saying I was disconnected, I'm meaning I disconnected from the Quay that would allow that. So when I'm dating, when I'm, you know, potential, husband, whatever, and I know already that, and even the narcissistic situation that I dealt with, now the person that would allow that, the person that would allow any type of disrespect that didn't know really truly what I wanted, that didn't have a definition of exactly, when you might ask me, well, it was just, okay, we're attracted to each other and this is where we ended up. Now I have a defined exactly what is required for me uniquely, exactly who I want, what I want, and who will not accept anything other than what God would say was for what I deserve. So
okay.
that's what I've been disconnected with. I don't want to, I don't feel like it's necessary to, in a process like that, disconnection with that person is a step in the process, but I think it's more important that you didn't disconnect with the person that will even allow any person to do that. So that way you're not continuing the process, because you can repeat that with just a whole different person.
No, absolutely. But if a person has not healed, if they have not forgiven and healed, then they're still going to repeat the cycle.
Right. So I've forgiven, healed, and I can offer that and how I did that too.
And so that's why you're talking to the woman who needs to heal from a narcissistic relationship so that she can prepare for her dating in the purpose of marriage.
Yeah. So what you just said, I'm gonna watch the replay.
Okay. Stacy, tag, you're it.
You said me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, hi. I might give him. I'm sorry.
So
What?
what problem do you solve for your client? And then give me your 3 behaviors that we're gonna use in the content this week.
Um. So I help women to embrace who they are by removing masks and shedding titles.
Okay. So what's their problem?
They've lost their voice. Um. They've
So it's a
lost who they
confidence
are.
thing.
Confidence.
Self-esteem,
Uh,
self-esteem.
yeah, confidence, self-esteem, and identity.
I was gonna say identity. Okay, give me 3 behaviors. What are they currently doing as a result to the problem you solve?
Um, they use a mask as a shield to um, cover their feelings or cover their vulnerability. They don't want anybody to know
So I
they're
want you
vulnerable.
I want you to identify the mask though. What are they using to cover up their vulnerability?
Um, I'm strong. Um, they just use so they tell everybody they strong or I'm okay or pretend
So
that
how
everything is okay.
okay. So they're pretending like everything is okay to cover up their vulnerability or to cover up their sadness, right? And so as a behavior, what are they doing? What are they at home? What are they doing? Are they shopping a lot? Are they um hanging out a lot? Like what are they doing to try to mask that?
Stay in big circles of people so nobody can identify. Um, shopping, that's one. That's one I do. Uh, gossip, talk about everybody else's
Gossip.
business besides their own.
So these are behaviors, again, when we're talking about the niche specific content. If Stacy was to show up on her reel tomorrow and she talked about, I'm going to share with you 3 ways, um, 3 ways to identify whether or not you're wearing a mask, right? And one of them is when instead of facing a problem, you go shopping. Does that make sense? This
Yeah.
is now how we are calling out people's mess. You know good and well to avoid a conversation or to avoid something, you go shopping. So now you got my ear. Like, really? Are you really in my business like that? Yes. Right?
You're right.
Make sense? Okay,
Yes,
so
it
work
does.
on that. Work. I'm sorry, what was you going to say?
No, I just say yes, it does. It makes sense.
Cool. Perfect. April, tag, you're it.
Hello, hello. So my problem I solve is fear of rejection and failure. And my 3 behaviors are procrastination, isolation, and overcommitment.
You said failure and rejection.
Yes.
Rejection as in being told no, or rejection at like rejection how? Tell me
Like
what.
people accepting them.
Okay, so that's different. So you have
Okay.
to say that,
Okay.
right? Because rejection can show up in many different ways. So you want to specify what you mean. So I'm talking to the person who wants to be accepted by everybody.
Okay.
And then for the person who wants to be accepted by everybody, what's one of her behaviors? What does she do?
She overcommits.
Yep.
Okay.
Right. So you see how just that one shift, because when you say rejection, I mean, it's such a broad umbrella. I don't really know if she's talking to me. I do struggle with rejection, but but now when you say, now when I'm talking to the woman who wants to be accepted by everybody, you have this issue where when you walk into a room, if someone makes you feel a certain kind of way, or if someone disagrees with you or something goes wrong, it challenges your worth because you want to be accepted by people, and you're doing this and it's showing up and you overcommitting because you want to be a people pleaser.
Yeah.
Now I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
Does that make
That
sense?
makes sense. Yeah. Thanks.
Cool. Coach Sandra, tag, you're it.
Sorry. The problem I solve is unforgiveness.
Mhm.
And the 3 behaviors, they're acting angry, resentful, and bitter.
I mean, y'all, let me tell y'all, Coach Sandra don't really count because
I don't
she's Chase
know.
Grade certified in her niche. So she already know the answers to these. So it's like, I'm just
I've
gonna
never heard anybody. You've never told me I don't
go-
count.
I'm just gonna skip over Coach Sandra. But that's it. So now now that anger. So now when you show up and you are creating content, now you can talk only about anger, how unforgiveness creates anger, and then what does that anger look like in that person. So 3 ways to identify you're struggling with unforgiveness. One of them being everything makes you angry.
Mhm,
Or whatever it is that you want to use.
mhm.
That's definitely a behavior. Cool. Miss LaQuisha, tag, you are it. Our fearless coach, are you there?
I'm here. I was trying to get off mute. My hands quick.
No problem.
My problem I solve. Don't look at me like that. Is fear. Fear of responsibility. What's the other part of the question?
What are the 3 behaviors?
Not accepting new responsibility, keeping yourself stuck because you don't want to be responsible for anything else, and making yourself believe that you're not worth it.
Okay. I want you to dive deeper into the whole not showing up for new responsibilities. I don't know what that means.
So, for example, for me, I know that there's more that I could have been doing or I could be doing. But because I've been responsible for everyone my entire life, I decide to make myself believe that I'm not capable. So I don't show up for the responsibility because I've made myself believe that I'm not capable of that thing.
So you want to be that direct.
Okay.
What we're trying to do is avoid assumptions. We want to avoid blanket words where people can create their own definition and automatically count themselves out. Like, she's not talking to me. No, yes, I am. Because I'm talking to the one who, and now you're identifying those behaviors and you're calling them out, and you're leaving no room for them to guess or wonder if you're talking to them. You talk about the fearless coach and helping. When I think of, and it's so funny that you say that, and we've talked about this, of course, I remember asking God, why is it that a lot of women struggle with being afraid of success? I didn't understand. I'm like, why are people afraid of, why am I struggling with working with women who have a fear of success? And it was due to responsibility. It was because responsibility was given to them at such a young age that by the time it was time for them to be responsible, they ran from it. You got to call that out. Be creative, find the right wording, but you got to speak directly to that. Because when you call out the woman, how many women, you can put this on Facebook right now, how many women was cooking dinner for their siblings at 10? Me. That's probably why I don't like cooking now. But
okay,
clear as day. Hate spaghetti because that was the first thing I learned how to cook, and I despise it. Right? I do. So dig deeper in it. Be specific. Call it out. But that's good. Cool.
Okay.
All righty. Miss Lisa, tag, you are it.
Good evening.
Hello, hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can.
Okay, sorry, I'm trying to get over a cold.
No problem.
So for me, I'm in the beginning stages of this.
Okay.
So I know it's navigating life transition and crossroads. And so I guess you asked about behaviors. And as I'm listening to all the ladies, I'm like, okay, what behaviors? So I think one would be coexisting, just coexisting, surviving and not really thriving, but also how you're just going through the motion. And what I mean by that is, a lot of times through transitioning lives and crossroads, we like just go through them, but never really take time to process them. So as women, we're still doing what we need to do. We're still showing up, but we still haven't dealt with the transition or the crossroads. So then we keep moving forward, but we still not dealing, we still have the baggage of that. And then here comes another transition and crossroads. And so then you're feeling overwhelmed and confused, frustrated, and then there's even possibly like a breakdown.
Okay.
I don't know
okay.
if that sounds right. I know that was a lot, but
No, let's backtrack a little bit. Let me get a little, because I know you said you're new to this. So
Mhm.
if you were to jump out into the world and say, I'm this type of coach, what type of coach would it be?
ooh.
Okay, I didn't miss it.
um, I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe a strategist, life strategist.
What part of life?
Oh, I never thought about it like that.
Right. So look, let's pause really quickly, because here's what I want Lisa to do. I need
Okay.
Lisa to go back to the time where Lisa needed Lisa. So
Okay.
whatever it is that Lisa is trying to do, or want to do rather, let me not say try, whatever it is that Lisa wants to do in the life of her client, where was Lisa when she needed her?
A single mom, who lost her job, had to relocate, had health issues, empty nester, and having to navigate all those different life transitions and making like some decisions at crossroads.
So could it be identity?
It's funny you would say that. Yeah, it could be identity.
Right. And
Yeah.
so as we break it down, we're looking at, okay, what was Lisa going through when Lisa needed Lisa? It sounds like through the barriers and the breakthroughs that it may have been a little bit of identity, trying to figure out, who am I post children? Who am I during children? Who am I? Who, outside of mom and wife, as Angela and I just talked about, who's Lisa? And is that the desire? Like you said, one of the behaviors you said, coexisting. Well, when a person coexists, it's because they're not confident in who they are. So I just blend in. I can remember being in rooms where I just fell into the room because I didn't know where I stood out. I didn't know what I added, what value I added to the space. So I just kept quiet. So what I want you to focus on, Lisa, is when you talk about those behaviors that you just very well shared with us, I want you to think about, what is she going through? What's the problem that she has? And then let's work through that so that we can start moving forward and establishing ourselves as the expert in that area.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
I know that you are in our email community. Are you a part of our 6-figure group?
I don't think so. I just learned about you like a couple weeks ago.
Okay. Can somebody put www.my6figuregroup.com in the chat? Lisa, I want you to join the group, because we're going to be doing trainings throughout the rest of the week. And I want to make sure that thank you, Angel. I want to make sure that I'm tagging you to make sure that you're working through it.
Okay.
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 But I think we got somewhere. I think identity coach. I think that sounds like, what do you think?
You know what? And this is crazy because I had just said the name of my business. Well, my friend and I, we were going through this before she passed away.
Mhm.
And it was identity. It was identity by design. But then I was thinking, you know what? That might be the name of the one program I'm gonna be doing.
Mhm.
So now that I'm having this conversation again, I'm gonna kind of pray and fast while I'm fasting this week, and that might be it.
All right. I'm gonna see you in the community, so I'm gonna be
Thank
waiting.
you. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
you.
No problem. Thank you. And welcome. 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 All of that good stuff. Okay, cool. Listen, y'all. Miss Sandra, she beat
I
me.
ain't
She told
said
me I
nothing.
wasn't going.
I ain't
She
said
said we
nothing.
wasn't gonna be done in an hour, and it's 8:05. But that's okay. That's all right. Okay, Coach Siobhan, tag, you are it.
Strategist. I'm strategist, relationship strategist, Siobhan.
Listen. My bad.
That's okay. I answer to coach sometimes too. But I just gotta let y'all know. But all right, so and Latoya know I'm messing with her. But
Absolutely.
okay. So the one thing that I saw, if I had to break it down, I would say communication.
Mhm. No brainer.
And 3 behaviors, I would say refusing to speak about issues or constantly arguing, not taking accountability for themselves, each person, and using nasty words towards each other.
Not taking accountability. No, that's not what you said. What was the first one you said? Arguing and something else.
Refusing to speak about issues or constantly arguing, like
Those
one
are
or
two
the
different
other.
things.
Okay, they do them both.
They do, but those are two different topics you can talk about.
Okay.
Because the person that refuses to talk about it may do that so that they don't argue, but they don't know that it's a terrible communication, right? So those are two different things. So you actually just gave me 4 instead of 3.
And also with the communication, I know that it's strongly tied to control, because when you refuse to speak, that's because you're trying to control your partner's response. So that's why I didn't know if I could give you 1 word or 2 or, you know.
And only because, you're a part of the community, I know that the root to the communication issue is control. And so this is some of the things when we talk about niche marketing, when it comes to being niche specific as a believer, I want you to understand that when we talk about the problem you're called to solve, we're talking about that spiritual root. You gotta pull that thing up, y'all. Now we use words to try to be surface because everyone's not gonna understand. Even your Christian may not understand. So we may not want to say I'm binding the spirit of control, right? Because they're gonna be like, whoa, wait a minute, hold on, what's going on? But if I tell you that I'm here to help you work through communication and I help you identify how control is the root to it because you're trying to control the person's response, now they receive it differently. But you're still operating in his word. You still ministering. You're still the whole 9, but you're just learning how to use your words differently so that they can receive it. Right? And a lot of times I don't go into that much detail, especially in our open challenges and trainings, because a lot of times people be like, what is she talking about? But over in the university, the coaches know we talk about, listen, we got to get to the root of it because it's spiritual. I don't care how external you try to put some lotion on some ash. If you don't change your diet, you're gonna stay ashy. It's an internal thing. It's a root. Right? Don't ask me why that analogy came up, but it did. Cool. Okay, cool. So listen, ladies, let's go ahead and let's jump into our what we're going to teach on tomorrow. Let me share this really quickly. Give me 2 seconds. Our client success coach is trying to get in. So what we're doing tomorrow, you are going to create a reel. So I know that a lot of you were saying that you're using Facebook and Clubhouse, right? You can record a reel on Facebook. I'm not sure if anyone has seen that feature. I'm not sure how popular the feature is. But we can use it for the sake of the challenge, because what you're going to be doing is you're going to copy the link of your reel and you're going to put it in under the appointed graphic for tomorrow. Okay, so I encourage you to do it on Instagram, because that's where the reels be jumping per se. I don't know how well the algorithm picks up reels on Facebook. You can use it if you want to try it out, but if you want to see the type of increased engagement that we're talking about, or the increased visibility, then you want to make sure that you do it over on Instagram. Then you'll be able to see what we're talking about. Okay, so here's what we're doing. At your discretion, if you want to point and dance and all of the great things that people are doing with reels and add music, that is completely up to you. What I'm looking for is niche specific content. Your reels are designed to educate. Okay, so that's why we pick those top 3 behaviors, so that one of the behaviors you're going to educate your client in your reel tomorrow. Okay, so whether or not you're sharing 3 reasons why, or 3 reasons you should stop doing something, here are three ways to identify. Whatever you use, this is a form of education. Now, when you are creating this type of education, for the most part, you'll see, 5 ways to, 3 reasons why. It's because those are teaching tools. Those are teaching. That's teaching language, where your ideal client know that they're going to learn something. So of course, 3 is like the number that we use, because it leaves the client wanting more, but I wouldn't go any more than 5. And I'll be honest, doing a reel, it's going to be real hard to go through 5 tips. Okay, and a 60-second reel is going to be hard. Okay, no problem, Siobhan. Okay, so you want to do your reel. Keep in mind, your reel should be 60 seconds. If you want to add music, you can. If you want to add pointing and all of that good stuff, you can. However, I do encourage you that if you're not adding any of those gestures, that you add the caption to your reel. Okay, let me explain to you how. Let me see. I might be able to share screens with you really quickly so that I can show you how. Okay, let's see. For those of you who need visual, let me jump over here on Instagram really quickly. See, it's going to be hard for me to do this because on the desktop, it doesn't allow you to do reels. Or does it? Okay, so here, nope, these are just all of my reels. So when you are on Instagram and you're getting ready to post, you know that there's the post option, right? Well, here on the computer, unfortunately, it only allows you to do the computer, but it'll say post, reels, or live. Okay, you're going to select reels. Once you do and you select reels, I know what I can do. I probably should have. Oh, okay.
Sorry, I thought I was on.
What?
I'm following your directions.
Is she talking about Toop over there? What is happening? Okay, let me see something. I'm going to share screens with you. Boom. All righty. So let's go through this really quickly. So up here, there's a plus sign, right? I don't know how to do that. My team just told me to connect something and do something. I don't know how to do that. You're going to click this plus sign here, and then you're going to go to reel. Okay. Now you can record it live. Now here, let me give you some tips really quickly. You can change this here. We're going to change that to 60 seconds so that it's a 60-second reel. And then here, which is one of my favorite, is you can set a timer, right? So when you set the timer, you're going to click here, you're going to set the timer. When you set the timer, now what you're doing is you can prop it up wherever you want it. Now you want to make sure that you have good lighting. So for those of you who have a good ring light, maybe you don't have a ring light, it's okay. I have actually a desk lamp that has been doing better than my ring light. And so I use that as well. But make sure you have good lighting for your phone. You can also, that little bolt, it just gives you a boost of light if you take that off at the top here. And then what you do is you're going to position yourself and you can go ahead and record. Now, the beauty to this is once you hit record, because you have the timer on, you kind of pull yourself back, reposition yourself to prepare for how you're going to, or whatever content you're going to share. Another bonus to this is that you can add, what you can do is you can pre-record yourself and then you can add video content. Okay, so you'll go here, and this is a bunch of stuff that I've already been doing all day today, and you can add something and then you could post it. Now, when I talk about the captions, you're going to go up here and you're going to add captions. Now play around with it, because you will do something that you may like, that you know, see how you enjoy looking at your own reels.
I'm sorry, you went a little too quick for me. You said go here and then you clicked it, but I didn't
Okay.
see what you clicked.
Let me see. Let me go back. Okay, so we're going to hit preview. We're going back. And then this little sticker up at the top.
Which one? There's a microphone, okay.
There's this little smiley face. I'm sorry, you guys can't see my mouse?
No.
There's a little, next to the stars, there's a little happy face
Okay.
sticker.
Okay.
Yep, you're going to click that. And then you're going to click on captions. And then it'll start coming up. Now, there's up at the top, you see the little rainbow color?
Yeah.
You can change the color of your text. If you push that A, it'll change how your text shows up. So I like to push that because, as you can see now, there's a block behind my words. Okay. Now, what you want to do is, of course, when you want to make sure that you're repositioning the words. You can move the words around to wherever side of the screen you want, but you want to make sure it's kind of in frame, because when you post it on your Instagram, you want it to be in the frame of the Instagram. So if someone's on your page, you don't want their words to be cut off. I hate when I do that. You want to make sure that your words is in a good space, because once it's done, it's done. Okay. Or you're going to have to redo the entire reel. So you can shrink the words and make them smaller, and you can move them. Okay. So now you're going to hit next. Nope. No, you're not. You're not going to hit next. This arrow, there's an arrow next to the music note. You're going to download this to your phone. Okay. Download it so that you can repurpose it. So once it's done, it's saved. Now you can go to next, right? And then you're going to write your caption. When you're writing your caption, you're going to put the topic of your video as your caption. And then you can put the bullet points that you shared in your caption. You can elaborate on your caption, but make sure that you have a nice, clean caption talking about the video. Once you have the caption, then you're going to make sure you have a call to action. Okay, so you want to identify what that call to action is. If you don't have your scheduling link yet, maybe you're directing them back to your bio for a link. Maybe you are giving them a keyword and saying, if you're ready to break free from unforgiveness, drop unforgiveness in the comments. Right? That's considered a call to action. Another good thing just to kind of share with you is down at the bottom where it says share, then it says save as draft. Say, for instance, you are in a good day. You feel like doing content, you have good lighting, you feel pretty, all of that good stuff. You can record multiple reels and save them as a draft. And then when it's time for you to post, if you go to where your reels are, then you'll see it's in the draft. And then you can post it.
So
Right.
how do you
I
how
found-
do you see reactions to the reel? So I was pacing, I was doing a story. I was just doing a story on my Facebook page,
Mhm.
adding to my story, and it said, "Do you want to make this a reel?" And I said, "Why not?" And I did it, right? So
Okay.
I've done a few, but I don't even know where it goes.
So on
Where-
Facebook, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out the reels on Facebook.
Okay.
But on Instagram, if you look where there's this checker box to the left, to the far left, that's where you see posts.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you hit the play sign where it looks like your the box with the play sign, that's where you go to the reels and you can see how many people viewed your reel.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
All righty. Are there any questions? No questions? Okay, so just to do a quick recap, tomorrow is Reel Day. Okay, there is going to be I'm going to go live at 9 a.m. to review the assignment. At 9:30, a post will be made available for you to post let me share with you. I meant to do this all at one time. Let me share with you really quickly how to share your link. Okay, so to share your link, what you're going to do is you're going to go to the actual video. And do you see those 3 dots? There's 3 dots right above your picture, right up under, it's on the right-hand side of the screen. They're kind of faint on here. Let's see if I can find it on. Okay, even if we go here at the top in the right-hand corner where you see the 3 dots, you're going to copy link. Right? And then you're going to head over to Facebook. You're going to find our post for the day. All right, lives. I see y'all. I see y'all. Okay. So it's going to look similar to this, and it's going to say day 2. And then you're going to post your reel, the link in the comments. Okay. Now, for everyone who's participating, you're going to see these links and you're going to go and you're going to view and you're going to comment under the reel. Good information. Thank you for the tips. This was awesome. This was fire. What is this doing? This is now increasing the engagement. Okay. It's increasing the engagement and it's growing the views. So when people start seeing that, oh, people are responding to this reel, then more people will see it. Cool. Any questions? Any questions? I'm just making sure I went over all my notes. All righty. Is anyone going to collaborate on the clubhouse room? And what day? Anybody? I'll give you some time. Maybe you can look at the lives inside of the 6-figure group so that you can see who's similar to you.
I was
So it has
thinking
to be
Angel.
similar.
I'm sorry.
So it has to be a similar coach.
I mean, you want something where the titling of the room makes sense for both of you.
Okay.
Okay. So as an identity coach, say Stacy and Lisa, right? Stacy's talking about removing masks. Lisa is talking about coexisting. Those are 2 different problems. Right? So maybe Stacy and Lisa can do a room or whoever, but that's what I mean by collaborating on a room. Coach Sandra?
I was thinking when I heard Angel talk about self-care,
Mhm.
Forgiveness is self-care, forgiving
is.
yourself, right? And the benefits that you get from forgiveness. So I thought maybe we could collaborate on Clubhouse. What do
I'm
you
with
think,
it.
Angel? Okay.
I'm down.
That works. So you ladies can connect with each other inside of the community, inside of the community on Messenger, whatever works. But make sure you book the room and you put it in the group so that we can know. You don't have to do it right now because tomorrow we're focusing on reels. But like I said, we'll be talking about going live tomorrow, where you'll have to select whether or not you're going to go live on Instagram, Facebook, or Clubhouse, and then you can share your Clubhouse room, the time, and all of that good stuff. Okay, and we'll talk about scheduling your posts and all of that good stuff once we talk about lives tomorrow. Any questions? Any questions? All is well. All righty, ladies, I hope you're ready. I'm excited to see these reels. I want to see who's going to step out and do some pointing and some. Listen, I'm just gonna talk, okay? Y'all coach do not sing and dance. I just teach, okay? But that's gonna be fun. I'm excited. I can't wait to see it. Don't forget to post them in the group. If you have not already gone live to introduce yourself, make sure you do that. Again, that helps the community know who's doing the going live challenge. Here's the thing: do not post a reel if you're not going to review a reel. It's a reel for a reel, okay? We want to give and we want to receive. So make sure when you post your reel, you're going back through the other reels and you're commenting, you're engaging, and make sure you come back to that post and mark done. So when Angel posts her reel, I'm going to click on her link. I'm going to go over to the reel. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to engage. I'm going to come back to Facebook and I'm going to put done. Make sense? All righty, ladies. I will see you inside of the community at 9 a.m. Have a fantabulous Monday night, and I'll see you in the community. Be blessed.
Good night.